You have 3 seconds to figure out what all these anime-style paintings have in common. Ready? 3, 2, 1. They have the same type of lighting. Every professional anime artist paintings can be simplified into 3 main types of lighting. I will sort and go over all 3 types, when to use them, and how I use them in paintings so you can do it too. At the end, you will be able to see which type of lighting your favorite artist likes to use. Master all 3 and painting gets so much easier. While there might be small variations within each main category, they all have their own purpose, pros, and cons, and to choose the correct one for each painting is how you take something from good to great. This assortment of paintings all have a face that's half lit, splitting the face and outlining the nose to give dimension. Can you see it now? There are only 3 types of lighting, and some artists prefer one over the other. The artist who first gave me this realization is Rella, who you might know from her many official works for Krypton Future Media. And even if you don't know this name, if you know anime, you probably know this one, Miku, a franchise big enough that a virtual singer has a world tour, concerts, events. I'm getting off topic, but if you look through Rella's catalog and start studying her works, you start to see a pattern: backlighting. Paintings where the face and most of the body is in shadow. The main light comes from the top, side, back, anywhere but the front. This is really good for multi-character illustrations because the lighting angle allows for the addition of rim lighting, that line of highlight coming from over the edge of the body, which can separate the characters from each other if they're in a big clump. And with that rim light, we can emphasize the transparency of the skin with subsurface scattering, an orangey line that develops when light goes through the skin and, under that surface, scatter. The orange can give warmth to the painting. For anime drawings, unless the face is looking sideways, backlight gives the face a uniform value, since it's all in shadow, with only a light spot to distinguish the plane of the nose from the rest of the skin. A variation of this is, instead of putting light for the nose, it can be added to the forehead if the light is more angled from above, or instead of reflected light, a shadow on the nose can be used. The shadow over most of the body gives a uniform value or darkness over the entire character, and is a very strong choice if you need to distinguish the character from the background. But it can also make the face look flat because of that. To combat that, you can add a crescent of light on the chin to help give volume to the cheek. In this painting, I started with base colors and then I used one highlight layer for the shadow. Because I separated each base color onto separate layers beforehand, I can select each color individually and work on one highlight layer. I painted the hair on separate layers last. Overall, backlighting is good for multi-character illustrations and allows you to use subsurface scattering very easily, which can unlock warm tones in an otherwise cool toned painting. But that's not the only lighting scheme out there. This next lighting scheme can be stylized differently depending on different artists, but again, there's a pattern that unites all of them: a half-lit face. 2 professional anime artists who paint this lighting a lot are Wacom and Ask. Both artists make many official character illustrations for games. Like I said earlier, the face is always divided in half, with shadow on one side and the nose defined. There might also be a triangle highlight stylized on the cheek too from the light peeking over the nose, but that emphasized nose is always there to help add dimension to flat-looking faces. How dark or how light you make that shadow can vary, because it entirely depends on the context of that environment and light, but it also means it's very versatile. You can make the shadow side or the highlighted side face the viewer to give different moods too. This looks best when the face is more angled to a 3/4 view or angled face rather than a face looking straight forward. To draw this lighting, I started coloring the shadows of the face first to lock in the position of the main light, and then colored the rest of the body. Just like in my first painting, the shadows are all on one highlight layer except for the hair. The half-face lighting can help give dimension to the face, yet it's still not the most popular lighting scheme you might see. This is the most common, but I would also consider it the hardest to make an anime painting look really good. When the whole face is in light, since the anime face is stylized, usually the only shadows are from the nose or the hair covering the face, which gives the same problem as backlighting, where the character's face can look too flat or boring overall. One way artists counteract that is to add a crescent shadow to follow the curve of the sheet to introduce volume again. Another way is to introduce something to block the light in front of the character to make more interesting shadows on the body. Adding more shadows gives more opportunities to emphasize volume, since shadows drape and follow the curve over the form, making it look less flat. This painting has pretty harsh lighting. I tried to add shadows in specific areas to distinguish different parts of the body, like under the chin to separate the neck from the face, the collarbones, and the shadow beside the nose. Let's see if you can recognize the lighting schemes of some of the more difficult examples I came across. I'll give you 5 seconds. This painting is by Ask. This is backlighting. The shadow on the chest is made by the head, indicating the main light is coming from back behind the head. The face is fully in shadow except for this nose highlight, and a small rim light can be seen on this leg. Next painting. This one is by Loom. This is front lighting. The shadow of the body is pointing back, meaning a frontal light. The face is completely in shadow because a large hat is used to completely drape shadow over the top half of the character. Finally, this painting is by Liduk. This painting is half lit. The light is coming from the back, but you can clearly see the nose silhouette, and the side with light is smaller only because of the hair covering the top half of the face. But otherwise, that side of the face would be completely in light. I recommend determining which type of lighting you plan to do so that you can use these lighting schemes for their advantages rather than working around them later on. Or you can try combining them with multiple light sources, but that's for another video. All 3 of these paintings are from sketches I made in my previous video, so if you want to see how I draw from scratch, here it is. If you want to see me finish these backgrounds, stay tuned for the next one. Hope this helps. Keep drawing. See ya!